Welcome to ZA TV, and here we are going to show you how to make real South African biltong. Of course, biltong, a delicacy that dates back to the early days when the Dutch roamed South Africa, where they didn't have any way to conserve their meat, and so they didn't have any form of refrigeration, and therefore had to salt their meat. And that is where the biltong, the delicacy that all South Africans love and know today, originated. So we're going to take you through the steps where we're going to build the biltong box, we're going to prepare the meat, we're going to hang it, and of course we're also going to enjoy it. Well, this is where the professionals have their biltong made. We are currently at Joey's Meat here. As you can see, this is a real a good version of a real professional biltong making machine. And as we open here, you can see all the sticks and sticks of biltong over there. You cannot make great South African biltong without the biltong box. We're here at Dillarray hardware store, and we're going to go pick up some timber and some bits and pieces that will allow us to put this box together. Come, let's go inside. Okay, we're here at the timber section to get the timber for the biltong box. Of course, MDF doesn't disappoint, so get some MDF pre-cut, and of course some hardboard, and just follow the measurements that we'll be giving you. As you can see, we have drilled holes in both sides of the biltong box, and because this forms the left and the right side of the biltong box, and there's going to be a shelf that needs to be put here. So we measure up 25 mils up, and we put our shelf railings here, there, and the same goes for here. Okay. All we need is a hammer, some nails, and it's time to get knocking. The next step in the process is to cover these holes from the inside, because the last thing you would want is for any bugs and insects and flies to fly right into your biltong box and destroy your pride and joy. So, mesh will do the trick. Okay, as you can see, we have prepared the sides of the biltong box. We've hammered in the mesh, we've put in the rails, and now it's time to put the top and the base together. What you'll notice, we've left a space, little lip here, and this is where the door is going to come. This will just allow the door to be hugged between the top and the base of the box. You've got to wheel your biltong box around. Well, that's what we think. So, just grab about 4 of these swivel wheel rubber wheels, screw them on, and well, then you can wheel your biltong box around. We put the platform onto the box itself. We've obviously done the wheels, and now we're doing the light bulb fitting. The light bulb is actually quite a crucial part of the box because it projects heat to allow the biltong to dry. Now, next up on the list is the rods in which you're going to hang the biltong up. Now, we've cut 2 already, which extend the width of the actual box. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to be cutting 2 holes in which we will be able to thread the 2 rods through. Nice and tight, and you're good to go. Well, now we come to the process in preparing the meat for the biltong, which I think is probably one of the most important processes of making great South African biltong. Now here I've got some silverside beef, which I went to my local wholesale butcher. It's always recommended to go to a wholesale butcher because that's where you can actually save a lot of money, and also they are also willing to cut the meat for you. So have it cut at your butcher. You can use silverside, topside, or London broil as they also call it in the UK. Okay, let's get our meat. Got a nice big piece here, And actually for this we're going to make say 2 or 3 pieces of biltong. First step in the process is to salt the meat. This will allow the salt to draw in the meat to give it that bit of a salty taste. So let's do that right now. Take some salt and just sprinkle it over the meat here. Cover it nicely with the salt. Also make sure that you use coarse salt. Table salt or any other salt is not suitable for this process. Therefore coarse salt, because later on you'll be scraping the salt off, so it's very important to use coarse salt. Okay, let's turn it around. The next step in the process is to let the meat lie for about half an hour to 45 minutes, so the salt can actually sink into the meat. The longer you leave it, the more saltier it gets. Alright, let's get the meat into a container, and I think let's put it in the fridge and leave it for about half an hour to 45 minutes. Well, we've just taken the meat out of the fridge, which has been lying in the salt now for about half an hour or so. And the next stage of the process is to spice the meat. Now, these are the ingredients that you need. You need some vinegar. We've chosen brown vinegar. Some Worcestershire sauce, which gives that a bit of a flavor. The biltong spice is, and of course, the most mixture of various herbs and spices, which has been specifically put together to be used to spice biltong with. Now this we've bought from a spice wholesaler, a 2 kilogram bag of biltong spice, and this is going to form the major ingredient of what we're going to be making as great South African biltong. Okay, first step, let's take the meat out. Now as you can see, it's quite salted, and the whole objective is now to remove the salt from the meat. And this can be done just by scraping it off onto a board or a cutting board of some sort. Just scrape it all off. The reason behind this is that because salt can draw within the meat quite easily, and obviously you don't want the biltong tasting like salt all round. You actually want to enjoy that meat and barbecue and spicy flavor. That's what makes biltong so delicious. Well, let's get some vinegar into this container here, because what you're going to be doing now is you're going to be dipping the meat into the vinegar. And also I'd like to add a little bit of Worcestershire sauce here, just to give it a little bit more flavor. Now the thing is about the salting of the meat. The reason why we don't want to put it under water to take the salt off, because we don't want to lose all the salt flavor. So by dipping it in the vinegar just allows the vinegar to draw into the meat a little bit longer. Okay, make sure that you dip it in very quickly. Make sure both sides are covered, and then remove the meat from the vinegar mixture. The nice thing about making biltong is that it is totally foolproof. It is not an art, it is actually a lot of fun. And the thing is, biltong leads itself to be a delicacy which you can experiment with. Now, yes, I've got this pre-prepared biltong spice mix, but you can use any spices you want. You can take whatever spice you'd like, mix them together, and apply it to your biltong. So really, it is really up to you as to what your biltong must taste like. You can even have chili or hot biltong. It's really up to you. So let's get the spice on. Okay, to make sure we spice this up nicely, spread it along. Now these spices generally contain coriander, a bit of black pepper, and various other spices. What I'm using here is a bit of a barbecue sauce mix. Now your meat is ready to lie for about 12 or so hours, so that the sauces and the spices and the flavors can sink right into the meat, because that is the essence about biltong, is the flavor. So let's put it into our container here. Right there, and that is now ready to go into the fridge to lie for about 12 hours or so, after which we'll take it out and actually hang it in our biltong box. Okay, time to hang the meat. Now of course, in order to hang the meat in the biltong box, you need hooks. Now we were lucky to get a couple of these plastic hooks, which is ideal to use to hang biltong with. Of course you can use stainless steel hooks as well, that works just as well, but I think plastic hooks, if you can get them, it's totally ideal. Alright, let's take the meat. It comes through there, a perfect hold on the meat, and you're ready to hang. As you can see, we have got some tin foil at the bottom to allow any excess liquid from dripping onto the actual hardboard surface itself. Well, let's hang it. Okay, take it in here. Well, it's 4 days later. The moment has arrived. We are about to take out the biltong that we hung, well, 4 days ago. Let's check it out. Well, as you can see, we got our first piece here on the cutting board. So let's cut it up. Well, looks pretty good to me, huh? The biltong came out 110%. Really, it was a total foolproof process, and I would definitely recommend that you go out and make your first batch of biltong. And do let me know how it goes. From us here at ZA TV, it's over and out, and go make your own.